It's Chef Deb from the Fridge Whisperer. Welcome to my kitchen. We're cooking again from 50 Fast and Fabulous Family Faves. And today I'm going to teach you how to do a proper stir fry. I think in North America we like to stir sweat instead of stir fry, so I'm going to show you the secrets about layering each ingredient, keeping it really simple, and the difference between light and dark soy sauce. So what we're going to do is kick it up a little bit with some sriracha hot sauce. It's a hot chili paste and it's got a lot of flavor but a lot of heat. It packs a lot of heat, so make sure, I think the recipe says something like a tablespoon. If you like it hot, put in a tablespoon, but if you don't like it hot in your family, bring it back to about a half a tablespoon, and as you're making it, you can work it on up. That's the beauty about the Fridge Whisperer 50 Fast and Fabulous Family Faves, say that fast 5 times, is because there's liner notes with each recipe, so you can make notations of what your family liked and didn't like about it, and just tweak it, make the recipe your own. We have some dark soy sauce and some light soy sauce. Everybody thinks the dark soy sauce has got a lot more sodium in it, it tastes more saltier, but actually it's not true. It's the light soy sauce. It's not talking about the degree of sodium in the sauces, it's talking about the degree of color. So with the dark soy sauce, they use that in Asian cooking to color the product is more than for flavor. And you can tell the difference other than reading the label. It's because when you go like that, the dark soy sauce keeps the color on the bottle and the light soy sauce doesn't. So that's how you know. But this is more saltier than this one, so we're going to use more of this than this in the recipe. We're going to do Shanghai noodles, and these are Shanghai noodles. You can find them in the grocery store. They usually are sided by the sushi to go. Just ask for them. They're fresh noodles and they're refrigerated. They're already cooked. You just have to really warm them through before you put them into the stir fry. So what I do is I get a nice bowl like this. I'm going to put these in here, and I'm going to put some boiling water. But I'm going to prep all my other vegetables first before I'm ready to go, because like I said, they're already cooked, so I don't want them to get too soggy. But I am going to open them up. For a family of 4, this is probably a little more noodle than you need, but when I was testing this recipe, all my tasters said that they wanted more. So we changed it to 2 packages instead of 1. So you be the judge in your own home. That's what it's all about. So I've got the 2 packages, and I've got my kettle on the boil on the back, so I'm just going to leave that there like that. So I'll leave that to the side, and I'm going to talk about the vegetables. With a stir fry, less is more. Don't put in 10 or 15 different vegetables. Your wok can't handle it, for one thing, because it's just too much going in there. Keep it really simple. When I do a stir fry, I never introduce more than 3 vegetables into the meal. So here we have Napa cabbage. Sometimes you'll see it in the supermarket and it'll be called Chinese cabbage. And I just got a half a head here. You can see how big it is. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to remove the outer leaves here. Give this just a little wipe. And for this I need, how many cups do I need of the Napa cabbage? I need 8 cups. So I'm just going to maybe cut down the center like this. And then I'm just going to kind of do a julienne like this. You can measure 8 cups if you want to, but because it's cabbage and it's essentially a lot of water in it, it's going to cook down. So even if you're over a little bit on the 8-cup measure, it's not going to make a big deal. So it's usually about a half a head. This is a pretty big one, so that looks pretty close. So I'm going to say that's about the right amount. So I'm going to leave that to the side there. And then the other thing I have in here is a whole red pepper, a red bell pepper. I'm just going to leave that to the side. And again, with my bell pepper, what I like to do is I like to cut around the pepper, the seed pod, and just leave that right intact so that I don't have to worry about the seeds. So that's going to go into my garbage bowl over there. And then again, I just want a julienne on this. When you're doing your red peppers, do it on the flesh side, not on the shiny side when you're cutting to make the julienne strips. It's safer than cutting on something that's slippery because it's shiny. So again, just a rocking motion back and forth. My fingers are tucked under, and I'm just going to make nice julienne strips. And I like to take this little white part out, not my favorite thing. And so normally when I stir fry, I use a metal stir fry spatula, but it's going to make too much noise and you're not going to hear me over the sizzling and the stir frying, so I'm going to use a wooden spoon today. And that's a tip for you at home too. Just use what you've got. You don't have to go and get special ingredients. So now I'm going to prepare my carrot, and that's the last ingredient. Three vegetables, that's all you need. I'm going to show you an easy way to julienne a carrot. When you go to the supermarket, instead of buying a whole bag of carrots, just buy the singles, and then you can pick ones that have a really big end on it, a really fat circumference. It helps with the julienne. So what you want to do first is take your carrot. I've already peeled it. And what you want to do is just take an end off of it like that so that it lays flat, because other than that you're going to be playing with a rocking product on your counter and you could end up getting cut. And then all you really want to do is you just want to take little slices off on the diagonal like that, nice and long, go all the way down like that. And then what you can do is you can stack your carrots like that, and then just go across that way, and then you go for your julienne. And then depending on how thick you want it, whether it's matchstick or whether you want it a bit thicker, I'm going to do mine a little bit thicker so that it mirrors my peppers. So then we're good to go. Okay, so now the thing with stir frying is you have to determine what vegetable is the hardest. So determining the degree of hardness will determine at which point you're going to introduce them to the hot wok. So obviously my carrot is the hardest, then my red pepper, and then my lettuce would be the last one to go in, or my cabbage, so that's going to be the last to go in. Another thing that you should know about true Asian cooking is that when they layer the ingredients, they add a little bit of granulated sugar and a little bit of salt in between each vegetable going in the wok. And the reason for that is granulated sugar, when it hits the heat, it liquefies and it adds a depth of flavor to the vegetables that you do it with and do it without, and you'll know what I mean. Another thing you must do is you must cook with a blistering hot wok. Get your temperature up as high as you can, heat the oil up, and then just keep it at a high temperature. Doing that will make sure that the vegetables stir fry and not stir sweat. Key. So my actual kettle is boiled, and so before I start my wok, I'm actually going to put my wok on high and get that going. And I'm just going to actually put some hot water now, into my noodles. And let that just sit there. Really, the noodles are cooked, so it's pretty much just to really break it up. So it's easier to get it into the wok. So there we go. I'm going to leave that there. And then I'm going to use this hand pad because my wok will get really hot to touch. So I'm going to get my pan really hot. And you can already see that it's starting to smoke. And then I'm going to add, about 4 tablespoons of canola oil. And then I may have to add more. So again, just eyeball it. And then again, first my carrots going in, stir fry that. So that looks like about 4 tablespoons, give or take. You can use anywhere from 4 to 6 tablespoons with this. Okay, so it's got hot. I'm going to just use a wooden spoon. So in goes my carrot, and I want to hear sizzle. Big bang sizzle, like that. So in goes the carrot. And then a pinch of sugar.